Hi, I'm Miss Teresa. Welcome to Miss Teresa Time. Today we have a super fun program planned for you. We're going to be doing a little cooking at the end in the DIY corner. But first, we have to learn about a letter. And today we are learning all about the letter C. This is the letter C. It's shaped almost like a circle. There's a little space missing. This is our big C, or our capital C, and this is our little c, or lowercase c. What sound does the letter C make? Do you know? Very good. The letter C says k, k. But our letter C can make other sounds too. It's one of those special letters. So sometimes our letter C sounds like an S. It says S. Can you do that? Good job. And sometimes our letter C makes a different sound. Sometimes our letter C has a helper letter. And sometimes that helper letter is the letter H. And when we have a C and H, it makes a ch sound. Can you do that? Ch. Good job. Why don't we discover some words that begin with the letter C? So let's see. I think you'll know what this one is. This is a, good job. It's a cat. Cat begins with the letter C. Let's say it together. Cat. Great job. I have a tricky one for you next. We have one of those different sounds for our letter C. Let's see. What is this a picture of? It's a picture of Boston, but Boston doesn't begin with C. But Boston is a city. And this is when our C makes a sound like an S. City. Can you say it with me? City. Good job. Let's keep going. What else begins with the letter C? This is maybe Miss Teresa's favorite food. Do you know what this is a picture of? Good job. You're right. It's a picture of cheese. And our C has that helper H. So we say cheese. Say it with me. Cheese. Good job. Let's see what else we have. Oh, Miss Teresa forgot one of the letter C's sounds. We have our letter C, and we have that helper letter H. But this word does not say chef. It says chef. So sometimes when our C and our H are together, it makes a sh sound. Can you do that? Good job. So let's say this word together. We have a chef. Good job. We have one more picture. And this picture is what our stories are all about today. Let's see. What is this family doing? I see a house. It's nighttime, but I see a tent and a fire. Do you know what this family is doing? You're right, they're camping. Our final word is camping. And in this word, the letter C sounds just like itself. It says camping. Let's say it together. Camping. Good job. Now, I think we're ready for some stories. We are going to use those imaginations and go camping. So our first story is called Camping Out. It looks like our friends are having a little bit of trouble with the tent. I have a feeling that would happen to Miss Teresa if she went camping. But let's see what happens in our story. Camping Out by Heather Amory. This is Apple Tree Farm. This is Mrs. Boot, the farmer. She has 2 children called Poppy and Sam, and a dog called Rusty. And what are they doing? Yeah, they're taking care of the lawn. They're mowing it and raking it and getting all the clippings. A car stops at the gate. A man, a woman, and a boy get out. "Hello," says the man. "May we camp on your farm?" "Yes, you can camp over there. We'll show you the way," says Mr. Boot. The campers follow in the car. The campers put up their tent. Poppy and Sam help them. They take chairs, a table, a cooking stove, and food out of the car. And look at who's sniffing around the tent. It's Rusty the dog. Then they all go to the farmhouse. Mrs. Boot gives the campers a bucket of water and some milk. Poppy and Sam bring some eggs. "Can we go camping? Please, Dad. Can we put up our tent too?" says Poppy. "Oh, yes, please, Dad," says Sam. And see, I have a feeling Poppy and Sam are going camping. Mr. Boot gets out the tent. Poppy and Sam try to put up the little blue tent, but it keeps falling down. But at last, it is ready. "Come and have supper, then you can go to the tent," says Mrs. Boot. "But you must wash and brush your teeth first." So there, that tent looks great. And they're off to have dinner and then off for camping. Poppy and Sam go to the tent. "It's not dark yet," says Sam. "Come on, Rusty, you can come camping with us," says Poppy. Poppy and Sam go to bed. They crawl into the tent and tie up the door. Then they wriggle into their sleeping bags. They look pretty comfy, except I think Poppy might be missing something in the morning. What does Rusty have in his mouth? Yeah, it's Poppy's shoe. Silly Rusty. Uh-oh. What's that noise? Sam sits up. There's something walking outside the tent, says Sam. What is it? Poppy looks out of the tent. What do you see? What is outside of the tent? It's a cow. Oh, it's only Daisy the cow, she says. She must have strayed into this field. She's so nosy. Daisy looks into the tent. Uh-oh, I think we're gonna have trouble. Well, let's see. Rusty barks at her. Daisy is scared. She tries to back away, but the tent catches on her head. Daisy pulls at the tent. Uh-oh. What does Daisy have herself all wrapped up in? It's the tent, yes. She pulls it down and runs off with it. Rusty chases her. Poppy and Sam run back to the house. Mr. Boot opens the door. Hello, Dad, says Sam. Daisy's got our tent. But I think camping is fun, says Poppy. But I think they're going to spend the night back in their beds. But that is for another story, because that's the end. What a great story. Something tells me that if Miss Teresa went camping, her tent probably would never, ever get to be that perfect triangle shape. And hopefully a cow wouldn't steal it, but maybe the wind would blow it away. Why don't we read one more story together? It's about camping, but it's about a little girl who uses her imagination So why don't we use our imagination and read this story together? This one is called Watch Out for the Crocodile. Uh-oh, I see some other animals too. Do you see any giraffes? I see giraffes too. Let's find out what is going on in this story. Watch Out for the Crocodile by Lisa Maroney and Ava Erickson. We're going, Tora shouts, running around the house like a wild thing. It's the first day of Dad's vacation and they're going camping. It's about time they did something fun, Tora thinks. All Dad does is work and drink coffee, sit at the computer, and talk on his cell phone. He's a very boring father. But now, at least they're off to the forest to see some wild animals. First, we need to buy groceries, Dad says. There are no shops in the forest. Tora groans. In the forest, they should be cavemen, living on berries and mushrooms. But her father goes shopping anyway. Boring Dad. Shopping takes up half the day. Then they have to get in the car and drive. Forever. Why is the forest so far away? When Tora grows up, she's going to live there. At last, they're in the forest. But where are all the wild animals? You have to look carefully, Dad says. They're not always easy to find. Let's see what sort of animals Tora sees. Tora looks everywhere, but she doesn't see a single animal. Dad's looking at his GPS, so he doesn't either. Then, right when Tora spies a tiny baby ant, Dad calls out, "Look up there! See that woodpecker?" Where? Says Tora. There, Dad points out. Let's see if we see that woodpecker. But Tora can't see it. It flew away, said Dad. Stupid bird, thinks Tora. And now the ant's gone too. And Tora doesn't look happy. Let's see, maybe things will change. But then Tora sees a snake. It must be a boa constrictor or maybe an anaconda. Anyway, it's huge and winding right across the path. How will they get past? Let's see, do you see that snake? I see it too. Let's see. Tora likes to use that imagination. It's just a root, laughs Dad. He steps over the snake. He's not even scared. Silly Dad. If we look closely, we see that Dad is right. It is just a root, but Tora has a great imagination. So let's keep imagining like Tora. Then he sees something else. A squirrel. Where? Asks Tora. There, over in the birch tree. Don't you see it? No, Tora doesn't see the squirrel. Not even through the binoculars. Because she's seen something completely different. Watch at what that tree turns into. A flock of giraffes stretching their necks to eat leaves. Dad misses them because he's talking on his cell phone. And then he misses the lion lying in wait on the plains. I think someone has a very good imagination. Let's see what else Tora finds in the wilderness. Then, silly old Dad is right there saying there must be thistles and spiders. He frightens the lion away. Come and have a look at these stones, he says. What stones? Tora mutters. They're not stones. They're sunbathing hippopotamuses. They'd be really cross if she climbed up on them. Tora thinks probably they should keep going and leave the hippos in peace. Suddenly, Dad stops and sighs. He says that when he was little, there was a troll forest here, but now there are only tree stumps. Tora looks around. Are you sure they're stumps, Dad? Can't you see that they're actually trolls? Dad shakes his head. He can't see any trolls. Tora plays with the troll children and throws sticks for their wild dog. But she can't play for long because Dad wants to keep going. Look at Dad. He looks kind of sad, doesn't he? I think Tora needs to get Dad to use his imagination. So let's go. We'll set up our camp once we're through this fog, he says. Tora rushes ahead because she knows who likes fog. Fairies, of course. The fog makes them dance. Tora, wait! Don't go too far! Dad sounds a little scared. Then his voice disappears in the fog. Tora does too. Everything disappears. Tora can't see the fairies or Dad anymore. Only fog. Now she is a bit scared. Luckily, right then, Tora finds her father again. Now they just need to cross a river, which Dad calls a stream. We'll walk across that log, he says, easy as pie. Tora stares at the brown water. Has Dad gone crazy? That's not a log. That's a crocodile. A river crocodile with a craving for crunchy child legs. You can do it, says Dad. You're very good at jumping. Tora hesitates, but luckily she's a good jumper and fast as well. She jumps, and yes, she's made it. But oh no, the crocodile wants tough old daddy legs today. Help, yells poor Dad. I think Tora's gonna come to the rescue. Tora has to save him. She fights off the crocodile while Dad makes it to shore. Then the crocodile gets furious. It lunges at Tora. But just as she's about to be eaten alive, her father pulls her to safety. Phew, that was close. At last they arrive. Luckily, they bought those groceries. When you've been fighting hungry crocodiles, a hot dog is exactly what you need. Out on the lake, the water glistens, mysterious and beautiful. Tora wonders if anyone lives on the island in the middle of the lake. But Tora, that's not an island, says Dad. Can't you see what it is? Tora looks again and sees that it's not an island, but a water dragon asleep in the lake. They sleep all day and wake as the sun goes down, whispers Dad. Just then, the dragon opens one glowing yellow eye and looks around. Is it dangerous? Whispers Tora. What if it swims over here and wants to eat us? Don't worry, they're very gentle and only eat fish fingers. Tora leans against her father and watches the water dragon for a long time. Please let it only eat fish fingers, she thinks. Good night, water dragon. And good night, snake, and giraffes, and lion, and hippos, and trolls, and fairies, and scary crocodile. And good night, best dad in the world. The end. What a great story. Tora sure did use her imagination on that camping trip. And now we're going to head over to the DIY corner and we are going to make something that we normally eat when we go camping. We're going to make s'mores. So come on over. Hi, welcome to the DIY Corner. So we read all about camping, and today we're going to make some no-bake s'mores because we can't light a campfire in the library. So we are going to use our microwave to make some s'mores. So what we need is some tin foil, we need a tray, we need a bowl that can go in the microwave, a spatula or a spoon, a measuring cup, whipping cream or heavy cream, chocolate chips, marshmallows, and graham crackers. So let's do our first step. We're going to take that tray, and MissTeresa is using a disposable tray, but we're still going to put some tin foil in our tray. I'm just going to move this over a little bit. Let's see, we are going to put some tin foil right down in our tray. There we go. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're actually going to use this to lift our s'mores bars out. So I'm going to put this to the side and move on. So let's see. We're going to take our bowl, take that spatula out. We're going to open our chocolate chips. And so MissTeresa doesn't make a mess, she's going to use some scissors to help her. There we go. And we're going to pour these right into our bowl. Perfect. Now we're going to measure our cream. So we want ½ a cup of cream. That looks just about right. Now, we're going to microwave this cream, and we want our cream to just be bubbling slightly. So we're going to pop it in for a minute. Sometimes it'll need a little more, sometimes it'll need a little less. But we're going to start with a minute. And while we do that, we're going to do something fun. We are going to take a Ziploc bag, and this is a big gallon-sized bag. We are going to crush up some graham crackers. We need 1 package and a half of graham crackers. These graham crackers are being tricky today. We want those guys in there and that guy. There's my microwave. I'm going to put the graham crackers to the side, and let's get that cream. There we go. That looks fantastic. We're going to pour this cream right on top of our chocolate chips, and then we're going to give them a stir. And what we're doing is melting these chocolate chips. It can be a little splashy. Woo! Are melting. Now, sometimes they're starting to stiffen up a little bit. We might need a little extra help in melting these chocolate chips. I'm going to try breaking them up a little bit. And I think we might have to put these guys back in the microwave just to help us melt a little better. Pop our bowl right in. And we are going to try cooking for 30 seconds. While that's going, let's seal up our Ziploc bag, and then we are going to break our graham crackers into bite-sized pieces. We don't want them too big, we don't want them too small. Just bite-size. There's our microwave, so let's put those graham crackers to the side, and let's see how our melted chocolate chips are doing. Oh yeah, there we go. So we're going to stir that some more. See how those chocolate chips are just about totally melted? There we go. I think we are just about ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this to the side, and I'm actually going to let it cool just a little bit because we don't want our marshmallows to melt. So let's go back to those graham crackers and let's see. I think we're just about at bite-sized pieces. That big one got away from me there. There we go. All right. So these poor graham crackers, we're going to put them aside just one more time because we are going to measure some marshmallows. Our chocolate has cooled enough that it won't melt our marshmallows. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure out 4 cups of marshmallows. We have our handy dandy measuring cup. Let's see, we have 1, count with me. We have, 2, 3, and how many did we need? 4, right, so we need 1 more. And 4. Go, whoops, 2 little guys snuck away on me. Now we're going to mix these marshmallows and the chocolate. Go. So our chocolate is going to coat our marshmallows. It looks like a yummy chocolatey mess, but yummy. Those marshmallows are pretty well coated, which means for our s'mores we have chocolate, marshmallow, we need those graham crackers. So we're going to take the crackers, open our bag up, and just pour them right on into the party bowl. There we go. And again, we just, I found a big piece. We'll crush that with our spatula. And we're just going to mix these graham crackers up some more. We are looking really good. I'm going to move my spatula for just a second and show you our mix. So we have our chocolate and our marshmallows and our graham crackers, but they're not going to stay in this bowl. Do you remember that pan we lined with tin foil earlier? Yeah, we are going to grab that and we're going to pour our mixture right in. There you go. And for this batch, Miss Teresa used more of a rectangular pan. For another batch, she used one that was a square, and they're a little thicker. These bars will be a little thinner. But we spread out our mix. There you go. Make sure it's pretty even. There we are. All right. Looks good. And our bowl, we scraped everything we could out of there. Now, what we do with this, we can't eat it yet, because if we did, it'd be all pieces. So we're going to pop this in the refrigerator for 2 hours until it's kind of firm, and we can slice it into bars. Now, I know we can't wait 2 hours. So what Miss Teresa did was this weekend, she made some at home. They look like this. So once they had settled for 2 hours, Miss Teresa cut them up into squares. And this is what we have. We have yummy s'mores bars, and we didn't have to use a fire or a stove, just a little bit of a microwave. And what's great about this recipe is you can add in cranberries or nuts, or you could use white chocolate or dark chocolate, or even peanut butter chips. You can make them any way you want. But I have to be honest, right now, this bar is really tempting, so I'm gonna snack away. Thanks for joining me. Bye.